Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Last Epoch. My name is Wilfred. So in this episode, I'd like to share with you a pretty hilarious bug I've encountered while playing the empowered monolith. Also putting two monolith encounters side by side with my same summoner, just to contrast how difficult some of these encounters could be for my build or for my summoner gameplay. And last but not the least, also to give you an update on where I am with my Necromancer, so just stay tuned for that. Now, as you will see in just a bit, obviously I have defeated the Emperor of Corpses in this clip here, but somehow the game doesn't count as a win, so I have to do it again. So the benefit of it, of course, I get to play back to back without having to farm all the timeline stability points again. Managed to have two unit drop from the boss. Both are the same, both also not for my build. But unfortunately, I don't have an opportunity to pick like the blessing, back to back. That wouldn't have worked that way. So I find it really odd. I downed the boss and there was no pop-up saying that choose pick a blessing. So it was a win, but it wasn't really a win. Not my fault entirely. So I got to do it again. Now this particular fight with the Emperor of Corpses was really hard for my summoner. It has a lot of very high power kind of like a damage, and the bomb in the middle was one of them. I could reposition my minion out from it, of course, but the rest of it is really hard, like especially the front cone kind of damage. I was trying to survive as a player, a Necromancer, and I have to look after my minions as well, so it was pretty tough. And towards the end, there's a lot of puddle or pool of kind of like damage over time on the ground, and I can't really reposition all my minion to stay away from those pools. Set aside, I have to look after myself not to get destroyed by all those pool of whatever damage over time they have there with my health. So that was pretty tough, and my summons dropped like flies. And if you contrast that to a next clip that you will see when I face the next boss, the Heorot, the experience is a lot different. My summon didn't drop at all. But of course, you have to relatively look at the beginning of the video on that Emperor of Corpses, when the empowered monolith may come with the additional challenges like the increased damage due to some of the notes I've chosen, some of the echoes I've chosen prior to taking on the boss. I get it, but still sometimes things can get a little bit annoying, as some of these fights are really tough, but some of these fights are quite straightforward, and there are some fights that are in the middle as well. So from my as for my Necromancer perspective, I've started playing the empowered monolith. They're about 90 plus, so initially was really tough. I've rethought my whole entire kind of setup or build. Well, not entire, but I have thought about how to make it better. So initially, I gear towards the health as well as ward, both the ward retention as well as ward gain per second, and that helped me to have the extra layer of protection besides having health, and you have ward as well. So that worked pretty good, and but then of course the damage kind of like dropped quite a fair bit, and to the point whereby it just make the boss fights a lot longer. Not necessarily a bad thing, consider the fact that you could learn the mechanic more as well. If you can one shot the boss, then you can bypass a lot of mechanic that may not be good in the long run, I guess, because there are some builds that are just not as strong. So I did that, and I've dropped the Rip Blood skill and picked up the Wrath instead. So obviously when you pick another summon or minion skill, your DPS will jump by at least 25% or if not more, due to the one extra skill that I do. But I still like to have the bone curse as my skill, because that does a lot of really nice buff, like mark for death against the bosses and enemies as well. Buff the minions when you drop the curse on top of them. Besides many other things, like even the kill threshold is 12%. So I don't know whether you've noticed or not, but when the boss health drop until a certain point, at 12%, they'll just suddenly disappear or die. Initially, I couldn't quite believe that when it happened, but yeah, it's really sudden. So it's happy. I think I'll retain my current build and setup until perhaps I get other gears unique that give me other inspiration or ideas to do something differently. But as of now, I'm still focusing on the permanent pets, minions. So by that I mean the 2 bone golems, 5 skeleton warriors, 5 skeleton rogue, and then I have the 2 wrath and 5 skeleton mages. And if I manage to kind of like kill off some enemies before facing the boss, with the blood cursed by the bone curse, then I may have 3 more extra vanguards. No idea how strong they are. I never quite get the idea of how strong they are, but yeah, it's a big party here with me. So these are all permanent pets, so I'm pretty happy. And yeah, so back to this particular fight with the Heorot. I hope I pronounce it properly. It's pretty straightforward. Just dodge a bit here and there, not to stand on the telegraph path. But by and large, as a summoner, is a pretty straightforward. Not all my pets survive, so you know it's a whole lot different compared to the other one. So anyway, thank you so very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this game so far. Give you more update as I progress in the game. See you next time. Goodbye.